Hey, welcome back to Piece of Chaos. This is a really fun and all over the place conversation with my good buddy and comedian Blake Wexler. This is his fifth time on the Piece of Chaos podcast, so we're going to get right into it and enjoy. My buddy Blake Wexler.
It's great to see you. Congratulations on your podcast milestone.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, just in terms of like, just, I don't know, perseverance.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
like, especially these last couple months because I'm not doing sets, you know, I'm not doing comedy. I definitely start to question my existence sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know. I'm kind of over that. If something comes up, it'll happen. You know what I mean? Like I'm like I feel like this is. It's no substitute for it, but maybe it's like this is what I'm doing now for now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and it probably keeps you sane too. Like, you know,
yeah,
like it kind of scratches that itch.
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely miss. In theory, I miss doing sets. In reality, I miss producing my show.
Yeah.
Right. But putting the work in to rebuild another one, I just haven't been ready to do yet for whatever reason. Like
well, it's a nightmare is probably why you, it's probably the reason it sucks to do.
It didn't bother what I'm hesitant on and where I can like feel myself putting like, this like unmentioned block on it is I got to find a new venue and carving the time in my day to go find a new venue. Like I didn't even find 5 Threads. Sam found 5 Threads. So theoretically, and Brian found Sports Harbor. So like it's never even been something where I had to. I know I could do it. It's just like, there's a little legwork that I got to pull off and go have conversations in a recession where every business owner basically at this point is going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not giving you any money.
How will this make me money? Yeah.
Yeah, like I know it will make them money, and the pitch is usually like, tell me your least busy day, basically, and I'll put 40 or 50 people in here on that day drinking for 3 hours. Like it's a no-brainer kind of, but I don't know. I've just been hesitant to do that, but that's ultimately what I think I would want to get to again. I don't think I can go hustle and do 5-minute sets at the haha because you know what I mean? Like I'm not even asking people to put me up. Like I'm not even asking people to like, hey, can I get on a show? Like I got asked to do a show a few weeks ago and I was like, and it was actually a really good one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not ready to do a really good show. I haven't been out. And my material is all garbage from 3 years ago. So, no, you know. So, I don't know. I'm doing a really silly show with the band. We're playing at a bowling alley.
Oh, fun.
Corbin Bowl and Adam Feuerberg. Do you remember Adam Feuerberg?
Yeah, I know that name.
And
we've done
Ryan
shows
Talmo,
together.
Ryan Talmo.
I'm not sure if I know Ryan.
They're putting on, they do like a monthly show at Corbin Bowl in Tarzana. It's like a bowling alley with a stage for some reason. And so they do a comedy, then music. So I booked my band to be the band that's playing after. And I know just being there, I'm going to get like, I'm going to wish I was doing a set.
Yes,
You know,
for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's been weird. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, thank you for saying that. The milestone. It's like, I guess this is what I'm going to keep doing, and whatever it manifests to become. If I get back to comedy, great. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I think you are. I mean, I know. I think this is one of the reasons why I enjoy talking to you is you are incredibly in your head, and also I think that I do relate to what you're talking about, where you want to go back to do stand up, but it seems probably like this insurmountable thing where it's like, fuck, I want to do it. You want to do it on your terms. Like, you don't want to go hang out at some horrific show for what purpose? Because there's going to be some lifting before you feel yourself again, So it's like, oh, good. So now I have to hang out for 4.5 hours at this awful show, watching awful comedians. And then get my legs underneath me. So it's like to start the process, which I do believe it'll come back to you a lot quicker than you think. Like, I think it will just be like a couple of shows, and I was like, oh, right, this is how I talk. Like, it's not like you do this insane fucking character that has nothing to do with who you are. Right. You're yourself. Yeah. So I think it'll come back quicker. And then in regards to the show, so to wrap that up, I think you just need to do it. Like, do the good show. Like, who cares? Yeah. Like, great comedians bomb on great shows. So like, it's... Yeah. I think you should just, that's my opinion. I think you should just do it. I understand where you're coming from. You're a good person. You don't want to fuck up the show, but you won't. And then also with starting a new show, you are faced with the worst part of starting a new show first, where you don't get to have a really fun set and a really fun hang and then find out where to do the show and like probably get like rejected for stupid reasons, which is infuriating because it's like, I'm trying to help like, this makes sense what I'm giving you right now. But yeah, that's the worst part. And then, you have a life. So it's like, what are you supposed to drive around the valley for like 4.5 hours to find like a spot, And it's a nightmare. Like, it just trying to find, and you, I think, had it really, excuse me, it was a great situation before. And it's very hard to find a amicable situation with a venue in which it works for both performers, show producer, and venue. So and even if it does work, often people who own establishments are fucking nuts. They're crazy. And often, and it goes both ways. Often comedians are crazy. So I think it's this hill that like needs to be climbed at some point, but I think it's a hill, not a mountain for you.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the Brewing Comedy Place was he started getting a little crazy with his, with what his expectations were for his business. So if you remember, it was like one unit of that strip mall kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And around 6 months before the pandemic, he bought or rented the unit next door to that. And he was going to expand. But at that time, that whole side was just like storage, right? But then 2 months before the pandemic, he blew out the back wall of that room and turned it into a gigantic room. I mean, it ruined it, honestly. It ruined the room. Remember there was like a brown
I'm picturing
wall,
it. Yes.
Like
past the swing.
Yeah. Past the swing, there was like a door on the right and then a brown wall.
I remember
he blew that wall out. And now the building went all the way back to the back of the building. It was horrible. And it made what would have been a packed show look empty, first of all. It changed the sound completely. So like that last show in March before the pandemic, I walked in and I didn't know he was going to do that. And I walked in and I was like, oh no.
What did you do?
He's like, oh, it's great. We can have, and there's like games and like giant Jenga back there and all this other shit. And I was like, dude, like, I'm not your lead business. I'm here every 2 weeks. You do whatever the hell you want with your business. But
yeah, of course.
You have fucked up this comedy show a lot. And I was like, how are we going to work around this? Like, I was thinking, okay, next month we got to move to a different part of the room. I might need to get different speakers. Like, this is a whole thing. It was bad enough to have the swing and the booths facing the wrong way, but like this is like so. All that said, he then screwed his business because then the pandemic hit, and now he has 2 extra spaces to fill. Whereas if he would have stayed to the smaller space, he might have survived the pandemic, you know, and because he had to be completely over leveraged. So the point being, like, he was pretty cool as that goes, and that still even went a little nuts, you know. So it's like I got to find. There's a lot. There's personalities. There's venues, and I want to make it a good show. You know, like I want to make it a good show. So it hasn't been top of priority for me to get back to doing a show, but I really miss it. Long story short, and 100 podcasts I feel like is like a milestone that I really wanted to hit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I feel like I don't ever want it to end. But it's again, it's like, first of all, nobody gives a shit. Second of all, I'm just, it is a release valve. It is an outlet for me. It is something that I really love, doing also some of, you know, and marking history. I have an incredible record of living through a pandemic, you know, like, with other people talking about it and myself and listening to my own crazy ramblings. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of cool. And I was very struck by your announcement of stopping your podcast. So I wanted
the opposite.
Yeah. I wanted to definitely talk about that too. And you know, and I listened back to then Todd's, where he talked about ending his too. And I just thought, it's really interesting because you know who else I talked to about this, but it was a good bit ago, was John Huck, because he stopped doing his.
I love John.
And, yeah, he's great. And in every instance, and I think this is partly why I'm like able to, and I think you do this too, so maybe not, but like I am self-contained. I don't need anybody else to do this for me. Whereas like both Todd and John in those instances needed to have somebody do stuff for them to make it happen.
A producer,
producer and stuff, which is fine.
Engineer.
And I could see that being a rate limiting step, right? To even getting it done. But, you know, it's, a weekly is a pain in the ass, and the week goes by before you even know the week has gone by, and you're just like, oh yeah, I got to do a podcast. And if you're not into doing it at that moment or that week, it's like, why am I doing this? You know? So I have devolved my podcast to be, it comes out when I do one.
It's great.
And fuck you if you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, like, but not in a mean way. It's just like, you know,
this is the product. This is what it does.
This is what it does. And this is what it's going to be. And I don't just want to throw something out because I said I'd do it weekly. I've done that. I did that for the first year. Like I made that like accomplishment. Like I'm going to do just to see if I can do it, you know? It's crazy, man. Especially when you're not making, like, it's not an income stream, right?
Right.
Like it'd be different if it was an income stream and you were deciding to cut that off or move it in a different direction, or make it an income stream and then it becomes different, you know. So I don't know. I'd love to hear. I'm jabbering. I want to hear about what's up with you and your thoughts on since stopping that podcast, and I definitely want to hear about the taping and how that went, and
of course,
stuff. So what's up? What's up with you, man?
Well, you're not blabbering. I'm enjoying everything that you're saying, and it is. I think it's interesting when you do I like a lot of thoughts on it where things do evolve, and I think to your point of being proud of 100 episodes, it shows an ability like almost like stick to itiveness and just commitment and being able to make it happen despite having a family, having a job, doing show. Like there's just so many COVID, like there's just so much shit, so many ways to not, or reasons not to keep up with it. And it's interesting. I think when I was younger, I know for sure when I was younger, I would like bail on something way faster than I would now. So, and I'm probably being a bit hard on myself because keep in mind, I started doing stand-up and stuff and doing podcasts when I was like in my early, like I was like 20, so it was like how dependable is a 20-year-old, but not very. So I think it was almost I would stick with something longer than was necessary to prove to myself that I could do something for a long time. And I've done it with different projects where, some things really work. Like stand-up has like worked out, it's working out, so like that's something that is okay, that is a success. But then there'll be, and then also what constitutes a success, where is it also feeling where we both started doing these podcasts during COVID necessary. And especially in the absence of live performance, this is in a way, like we would be talking the same way as if we were on the phone together, but there is a performative, a slight one. Like you do feel a need to, like, I'm not just going to be like, hey, I'll be right back. And then just like go fuck off for 5 minutes. Like it's like, so I think there's something that I've been working on, which is, and getting older and having more to do both personally and professionally kind of added urgency or quote unquote urgency to it, so I did mine for 3 years and it went through various purposes where it started out as, I think it started in April 2020. And then I needed it because I couldn't do stand up. And we were talking about earlier, it's not, this is a horrific analogy. I was trying to think in terms of medicine and Percocet was the only one that so it's not Percocet or whatever the other horrible drug, like Oxycontin, it's Advil, you still need, I guess in this situation, I'm saying those drugs are good, which I don't feel, but, or here, well, let's do it better. It's not, I almost said amnesia. What's the shit? Anesthesia. It's not an anesthesiologist like pumping something into your veins. It's Advil, but it is still dulling the pain of not performing. Does that make sense? Sure. So it took me a fucking half an hour to get there, but I'm just I don't understand why people have so much fucking trouble with opiates. I don't understand it at all. It's a fine drug. But I don't actually feel that way. So, so it served that purpose and I would have had a Patreon that was not a meaningful income stream. Sure. I didn't lose money. Like I made a slight amount of money on the podcast, but it's money that I would be very to part with that money has really no effect on my life whatsoever. Sure. So and it wouldn't really on anyone's. It's not like So but it started off serving that purpose of I get to perform. Even if it's in your home, like that helped. And then it was, okay, this lets me, the format of the podcast is me basically free association improvising for 40 minutes where no guests generally. There might've been 4 guests in 3 years or something, and including a person I had never met before, just a complete stranger, did it once, which might be the best episode. But so it served a purpose of, it was basically, this is a weird comparison, but it was like cardio for my stand-up where it let me to talk for 40 minutes without jokes or without real, like I would come up with things to talk about, but it was a very loose thing. So when I would go on stage to do stand-up, when I actually had material prepared, it was incredibly easy to do a 45-minute hour set because it's talking, but now with actually something to talk about. And I could play too, because I would my mind was kind of trained to free associate, improvise. So it helped with my live performances and making them different for each show. So it served that purpose. And then I kind of that's a muscle I just have now. So I didn't really need to practice that in that way, because now I can practice it on stage. So it was left with, all right, we just hit 3 years with it. I just hit me and my whole team hit 3 years of it. And because to your point, I edit it myself. So, and I don't book guests, where I think these things conclude faster the more barriers to operating it there are. So if you have to schedule an audio engineer to work with you, now you're doubling the complications of scheduling. Then you have guests, and then you're tripling, like you have, that makes it even more difficult. And it's not, you don't even now have a rapport with the same guest each week as you would with the audio engineer. It's like, fuck, I have to find a guest. I have to see if they're free. They canceled. Now I have to find someone, like, that is a very heavy lift. And I didn't even have that lift, and I still stopped doing it. So I think that it was something that I enjoyed, but it was always going to be a niche audience because it was weird. So I think what happened is that after the non-financial things stopped being as helpful as they were, it's like, oh, am I making money from this? Or is this going to be something that can take off? And I didn't see it being that. So it's like, oh, okay, I can now take this time and thought. It's also having it in your head of, oh God, I have to do this on Tuesday. It's like, I would much rather like go on a bike ride or go do stand up or like work on another, like write this thing. But it was always that. So now I'm finding a new, because I don't want to just like sit on my ass also. It's like, okay, how can I replace this time with something that will be more productive and financially helpful? So that's kind of how I arrived on it.
So let me put this to you then. So before the pandemic, I still was, even though I didn't have my own, I was still very bullish on podcast for comics for a lot of the reasons that you stated, which is you get used to talking, whether it's by yourself or with a guest. Bill Burr is always the one I think about, is like, he's probably never missed a week on Monday Morning Podcast. And it's just him blathering, and it definitely helps his stand up, because if you were watching him develop, like we got the chance to do being in Los Angeles, and listen to the podcast, things came from the podcast to the stage for sure. A lot. Right.
For sure.
And so in that way, even though you don't need it like we did during the pandemic, where there was no choice, and it filled that sort of Advil place of stand-up, once everything's back, it's still helpful. So, A, for that muscle, but also B, as a platform to reach people that aren't in your locale where you're doing stand-up on a regular basis, get the metrics for where to tour, all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering, will there be like, maybe not Blake's Takes, but like you would be excellent, other than the burden of doing it, in that style of just having that platform for yourself. The guests is a whole other nightmare. I mean, you know how this town is. I mean, it's like, I think I have friends that are comics, but at the same time, it's just like, why are they going to talk to me at this point? I have nothing to offer. I don't even have a show anymore to offer them a spot on. But, thank God I started it where I could just do me if I was alone or have a guest. So I already established that my format is, it's whatever the hell it's going to be, which is great.
It's amazing.
But but the guests are hard to nail down, and it's a pain in the ass. But so what I'm saying is, like, I feel like eventually you probably will have another podcast because there's nothing else like it. And it's not like you're going to have a TV show necessarily, or you're going to, but like, it feels like a natural extension to being a performer when it doesn't need to be a burden, and it can usually just be an asset, kind of is how I think about it. Like,
yeah,
you know, like you don't have to stop. You could put one out. You could put one out next month just because you said you were going to stop. Who gives a shit? You're crazy.
Right.
Just put one out. Like, you know, so you have that platform. It's not like you're going to rip it down and never to exist again. But that plus the live podcast thing, I think, is really interesting. So it's almost like what every comic should aspire to do is have their platform so it's there when they want to use it, and use it at your discretion. And we've all kind of taken this tack since COVID of like, yeah, things are different. I'm going to do it this way. And there's no rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is
I
fun.
love that.
So
it's fun. It's freeing. It's also like it lets you be who you like, do what you do rather than trying to, because it's hard enough to succeed at doing who you are, doing something that like exemplifies you and what you're comfortable with, and like, you know, shows off your skill set. And then when you try to emulate something else just because it exists and it's out there, it's like, well, you're fucked, because it's hard enough to do the thing when all the ducks are in a row, and now you're shaking up the duck bag over there. So, the old duck bag, but sounds like the most filthy term I've ever heard in my entire life. But I'm with you, and I not doing that. I want to do I love podcasts. I think I listen to podcasts like a mentally ill person. I listen to them. They're on constantly, literally, like just hours each day.
There's not enough time in the day for me. My queue of what I want to listen to is insane. Yeah.
I've never heard someone, every time people go like, oh my God, that podcast, it's so long. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, then finish listening to it tomorrow. Like, you don't have to listen to, like, you don't have to start it over again. Do you not know how this thing works? So you can just press pause on your thing and then revisit it right where you left off. So I love it. It's interesting talking about myself in this way is like self-introspection and trying to almost being your own producer, where it's like, what puts the quote unquote talent in a best position. And I'm talking about myself here, but I think the next thing I will for sure do another podcast. The Meet, it's my probably, like, other than stand up, and it's close, my favorite way to consume, you know, comedy and also sports and like literally anything. So I realize that a skill of mine that I don't get to show off much is like playing off another person and kind of going back and forth. And I think the next thing is going to be not having a guest necessarily, but have a co-host and someone that I have a rapport with and, like, you know, can play well with. And then you know, I have somebody, I think it will hopefully, or it might be a sports podcast where, you know, if you can get the scheduling down, that's the worst part. Yeah, if you can get that down, it'll like fly, it'll fly by because, you know, conceivably it's half the work of you just talking by yourself. But I think I've been batting around some ideas, and that seems to be what the next one is going to be. So, but I'll keep you updated with it where, you know, I love sports. Like, I have my comedy platform also, but I think speaking about sports in a comedic way is, it's just you're getting down the inverted pyramid of interests, and podcasts are perfect for more niche interests. Not that, like, you know, comedy, and I'm not pitching like like a cooking and nuclear engineering podcast. These are two large topics, but it's something that I think I could do. And to kind of what I was saying earlier, it's oh, you have to prioritize various projects that you think are more than others that you think are going to be successful. And I think that has a chance to be fulfilling and like emotionally and also financially more so than me losing my mind in a microphone for 40 minutes alone. But then maybe that'll come back at some point. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like a way to build an audience.
Right.
It gives the existing audience. I'm saying I laughed at that because it was funny, but it is. You're not going to bring more people in. No. Like it's people listened who are already who enjoy what I do, but I'm at a point where I need to expand that in a natural way. Like I'm not going to start.
Well, having a podcast is not unique anymore. Like there's so much out there that to expect you're going to get organically found is probably close to zero, right?
Yes.
But when you're found doing the other things, people go, oh shit, there's 100 episodes. Cool. Like, I can go back and revisit. Right. So, or the way I've seen it when I look at like the metrics is when I have a comic on and something happens with that comic, the episodes get downloaded. So they're timeless.
Yeah.
And it like that, I think is really cool. So it's almost like you have to do it because you're building a body of work, not expecting anything to ever come from it. And it has to be fun and it has to be worth your while to do. And if there were other barriers, like if I had to go to a studio, if I had to pay somebody to edit it, if I had to pay somebody to host it and all that shit that started to happen around this where people were building, oh, I'm going to have my own network and you can be part of my network and come. It's just like, dude, no, like that's not going to happen. You know, I could see putting it, but the way I'm doing it, I think is just like, this is no cost. This is basically for my artistic endeavor right now is this is it. So the medium is what it is. And I like it. And you know, so I'm sad that yours is ending, but I'm looking forward to whatever it is that comes later, which you'll revisit in a different way. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you. And you brought up Todd, concluding his podcast where we both, the thing that made me, Todd has a much higher profile than I do. And, I was laughing that I had yet to announce mine and then he ends his, which has been going on for like 13 years and has been almost more than anything else that has moved my career along. Yeah. One of the most influential things on me, period, both as a comic and as a comedy fan. I haven't really like it's weird. I'm not like going to get emotional, but like I did feel a pang of emotion where I'm like, oh shit, I haven't actually thought too much about this yet, but it was just such an incredible. Where it was, speaking of fucking unique and a way to show off a comedian's voice, like nothing showed off Todd's voice more than that podcast. And it was almost like you go into like comedy pretend world. And it started off I'm of course like now talking about another comedian's podcast way more than my own. It's like, I'm going to miss that one. It's like, fuck mine. But he, it started off so when I moved to LA, I hope this was interesting, but I was like 21 or 22 and I had known Todd from when he would come to Philly and we'd become like friendly. He became like a friend / mentor, like we weren't close, but it's like he was like very supportive and helpful comedy advice, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then I remember listening to his podcast with like Gary Goldman on it and they were being silly and doing bits and it was it was in a vintage car dealer's dealership and it looked out over all these classic cars and just like picturing it was almost like the gold rush of like, I'm gonna find some gold. Like I'm gonna go out west and get some comedy gold from Todd's podcast. And I got there and it was just so much fun. It was just, even when they didn't have like guests, it would just be Todd and he would call them quote unquote family shows where it was just a bunch of us, and it was the hardest I've like would ever laugh in my life. It was so much fun, and then getting to know Rory Scovel through there, and so I used to get to know comics that were heroes of mine, where like Norm Macdonald did it, and Sarah Silverman, and Gary Goldman. So to be able to be around those people, it was unfucking believable. And also for him, it was massively helpful, where you don't really get, and you talking about just the way it shows off a comedian's voice, a podcast, you didn't get an idea of who Todd was and what made him so funny just on stage at that time in his career. He's now mastered that and found a way to show it off. But before, and this is a guy who was a massively successful stand-up comedian, had not figured out how to show how funny he was on stage, and that's how funny he is, where it's like, hey, you're getting like 40% of Todd Glass here, and he's still, incredibly successful. But then he figured it out, I think in major part due to that podcast. And he then moved the studio into his backyard. So I remember that. Then we're talking about barriers of entry. So it's like, okay, now he doesn't need to drive there, but people still need to come, and he still needs to, do, wrangle schedules and whatnot. So for him to have done that for that long in that unique of a way, like that's another, Jesus Christ, 13 years or whatever, 12, whatever it was. But that was, an incredible thing. Yeah, it's a weird little, like, I don't know if it's a mental illness or what, but like I prided myself on never missing a Comedy Ahoy in 5 years. That means for 5 years, one Friday every month, I was there. Yeah. Like, there were times when the closest I ever came was I came in during the headliner. Like, I had to fly home from somewhere, and I landed and raced there and showed up in time for the headliner. It counts. But never missed one. Like, there's that milestone thing. And Todd, listening to him talk about it, like, that's where I was like, damn, I wish Todd didn't have any barriers of entry, right? Like, like if it could just be auto-produced for him and uploaded. Like if he could just go record it and then it happened, he probably wouldn't stop, right? Yeah. But and so and it's funny because I knew of Todd, but listening to his podcast solidified what a master he is, and just how funny. And I do think that podcasts, the medium, the long form medium, is the best thing next to live performance for not just for comedy though, but like for everything. This is an incredible revolution that even though it feels like everybody has a podcast and there's too many of them, they're not all great. And they're not all useful. But like when you take a look at like getting to know a comedian, really getting in and becoming a true fan of a comedian, that's the only way to do it. If you look at lecture and science and like learning something, there is nothing better. If you want like debate and like detailed, long conversations, it's our way out of being a dumb species is the way I look at it. Because you have to talk about some things for a long time to get to a point, to understand it truly, to hear from people and understand that they're an expert. They're not an expert in 3 minutes on a CNN clip, but actually they can talk about it for 2 hours in depth and get questioned and really answered. That's huge. And the way you consume it is so different than every other medium, which is you don't need to be watching it. You don't need to be paying attention. You could be driving a truck. You could be, doing your laundry. You could be gardening. You could be walking. I mean, shit. If every person walked for 2 hours a day while listening to a podcast that was useful,
we would have a completely different society. So like, that's where I kind of am like really still like, this has to exist, not necessarily mine. I'm not saying I'm contributing to the world in that way. I'm just saying like, this is good for people to have at their disposal. And really, I think as important as comedy itself to shine a light on the ridiculousness of existence. You know what I mean? Like, like if comics are still the voice of reason amid
some
chaos, you know, some of them, yeah, you know, so it's really interesting. I don't know, not to, you know, blow smoke up both of our own asses, but it's just like, I think this is a really important thing that not everybody can do, but more people should. If they can, they should, is kind of like where I'm at. Like, if you can do it and you can contribute, you really should. I think, you know, and you and I both know most people don't go to comedy shows. Like, as popular as it is right now, people still don't go. Maybe you go once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like, every show you got people, I've never been to a show before. It's like, what?
Yeah.
like
it's true.
That's insane. You know, like, I have Levity right down the street from me. You know, do I go that much? No, but I've been a bunch. Yeah, you know, but they're not sold out every night. You know what I mean? Like, it's a night out, and actually going to a proper comedy club is fairly expensive night out with the drink minimums and the tickets and all that kind of stuff. So,
it's really expensive, like a traditional comedy club is.
Yeah, I mean, you're in for, you know, at least $200 probably, right, with tickets and drinks. Like,
and that's without even babysitters, and you know, it's
right.
No, I'm with you, and it's also the there's so many argument is always so stupid to me, where it's no one ever goes, God, there's so many fucking TV shows. There should be no more TV shows. It's crazy.
Back to 3 channels.
Yeah, it's no one says that. So it's, then just don't. No one's forcing you to listen to them. And I know that's such a almost like a hack thing to say, but it's, you know, you get to choose what you do.
Yeah,
right. Like, you don't have to. Just don't listen to them. It's not a problem. It's really not a problem. And I think I don't know. I don't know if I've even said that. I may have said this to you on here, but I do believe that the only reason why stand-up is so popular now, and for the past few years, like when it went through that boom, way more than Netflix, it's like, I think it's Mark Maron's podcast really is what turned it around, and podcasting in general, because kind of like what we said with, like, people knew musicians were fucked up and interesting to hear them talk about, and to hear them talk, but there was a behind the music, there was no behind the comedy, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Then being able to hear these, oh shit, this is a demographic of people that we really don't know much about, and hearing how weird they look at the world, or it's not just material, it's how comedians speak is very funny. Like, you might not even, the way that you said not all podcasts are useful is a very funny, like, it's true, but it's a very funny way that you said it, where it's not, you could say like, oh, you know, they may not be worth your time. That's not funny, but you said useful, which is very, very, very funny. So like, it is just the way you talk, and it's a thing that we don't realize because it's how we speak. But you know, when I was getting ready to film that special, my friend Sai, who directed it, would point out things to me where he goes, hey, like, so, you know, I'm like, oh God, like, I got to cut this, or I got to put this there. He goes, just the way you speak is like, it's weird and good for what you're doing. And it's just stuff that we wouldn't really pick up on, because it's kind of like a one-to-one, like, weirdo back and forth. But then when you bring in a normal person, they're like, no, that's strange. Like, that's strange. And it's almost like having an accent, where in your town where you have the accent, everybody has the accent. And you're like, I don't have an accent. And then you go somewhere else and they go, why are you fucking talking like that? You have an accent. It's like, I guess I do over here. So I think podcasts have showed that off about stand-ups in a way that nothing else possibly could.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think the yeah, I mean 100%. It's that behind the music thing is really interesting. I never thought about that before.
Thank you.
Because can you imagine? Because how cool would it have been? Maybe not. But I feel like it would have been really cool to have, like, if Carlin had a podcast.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, if you could, because his material that you saw generally was well scripted and rehearsed, and even though it didn't sound like it, and he performed it like he was just coming off the top, that was an essay he memorized and performed, right?
Very tight, very methodically. Incredible. Yeah.
But he had to think of that shit and work through it. And, you know, it's not like seeing a show where he's kind of working on it. It's more like hearing his thought process. And anytime you see him interviewed, you know, from those old videos of him being interviewed, you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, the dude was so deep and so thoughtful. And, you know, that is a whole other layer that didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, they got 5 minutes on the Tonight Show to riff about something, and usually that sounded kind of scripted most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it still does when people do those shows. Like, so
Gary Shandling. Like, what if he had one? Like, that would have been so cool. You know, like, there's so many minds where it's like, oh God, we only get a little bit of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we beat that horse to death. Podcast someday.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite topic. I would have kept on. It's like, thank you for hosting the show. And it's like, no, I want to talk about video podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, I have a whole theory on all of that. Like, I'm actually, like, studying it is too deep to say, but, like, I am definitely watching this stuff develop and looking at it and analyzing it and thinking about it, like, the way it's evolving. And, you know, it's really interesting, especially on the video side, when you start to look at the metrics that are on the back end of that and think of the decisions that people make, right? So, like, a video podcast. It seems like it'd be a good idea to have a video podcast because YouTube has so much traction on podcasts. But then you're like, but is everybody watching a 2-shot of people talk for 3 hours? No, they're just playing it through YouTube. So, and then if you make a show, like, it's like, I don't know. It's just really interesting. Like, you got to kind of dig into the metrics and look at it and be like, what is actually happening? Are people just consuming long form content and it's on your phone? We talked about this a couple years ago when I was talking about, like, that pitch for a show, you know, that business plan thing. It's just like, it's the phone. It's the mobile consumption. Now, we don't have enough information to stratify, like, is somebody staring at their phone on the bus watching the video, or is it in their pocket playing through YouTube and the video doesn't matter? You know, like,
and for the listeners, Matt invented Quibi and it did not work out. But this is what we're talking about right now. Is the horrific money suck, to be completely honest. No. I know what you're talking about.
I didn't have to pay. I didn't have to lose any money. Quibi tested my idea for me, and no, but I would argue they fucked up the implementation.
Oh God, yes. Oh, I was just saying something ridiculous, but I completely agree. Yeah.
But it's it's really interesting. And then I've been watching. I don't know if you've been watching a lot of the specials lately that have been coming out. There's been a good number of comedy specials came out recently. And I
everywhere on everything, like, on everything. Produced by everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're just we're just starting to see the fruits of a very depressing 3 years. Yeah. That's the delay, right? So,
yeah,
the movies that are coming out now are the result of what people created while we were in the midst of that. like, I don't know if you saw the Banshees of Inisherin. Like, what a depressing movie. Like, it was great and all.
Oh, it was so depressed. Yeah.
But it was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, it was so depressing that I wished that the dude that cut his fingers off had stayed in the house when it burned down. That would have been more satisfying to me.
At least the other guy doesn't have to deal with this anymore. You know, it's like, I wish he died in the house too. I wish they both died in the house. Like, at least it would have been, Colin Farrell's character would have been able to die with his friend, you know, like that's better than what the hell he had to deal with.
Oh my God. So like, that's an example. And like, and like the specials that are coming out, because it takes so long to develop material that's special worthy. We're just seeing stuff that was developed during the pandemic. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this is different. It doesn't feel like an evolution of like from 80s comedy to like modern comedy. It feels like a point in time where comedy is really strange right now. Like, the topics, all these people with the weird brains that come up with comedy, this is what they've been working on, and it is. I don't know
different.
how to describe it. It's different. Like, it's just like
tonally, it's a different color.
Yeah. Like, Sebastian's special, I thought I was like, really like, wow, I didn't like that. And, you know, why is everybody so focused on trans people right now? And like, just weird stuff, man. Weird. And I want to get back to silly and funny. And like, although I have to say, my favorite special to come out in the last year or two is Mark Maron's.
I was going to actually say that, like, it was amazing. The way
amazing.
It was,
amazing. Because he's always been that way. And now,
that's so funny. It's not like he's actually more cheerful than he's ever been.
Yeah. He had the world destroying event he's been predicting was going to happen, and he got to live through it. Like, he's like, I don't think anything's going to get better. Like, that is like, so good.
Yeah. And so well shot. My friend Steven Fine Arts directed that, and it looked like it just looked as great as Maron's material was in it, which is very difficult, and also tonally represents it too. You know, like, it was, you couldn't see, the audience was like completely in the dark. There was that cool background, and you know, I mean, Christ, like, Maron went through like the worst thing a person could possibly go through during COVID, like losing his girlfriend. So it was, and how he handled it, I thought was like perfect with the joke. I thought was perfect, and God, what a fucking high wire act that is. And, you know, he pulled it off. So I'm with you. I didn't see Sebastian's, I haven't watched the final Mulaney special yet. I saw him do it live, but it was not. He was not filming that one. I think it was like halfway through his tour. So I would love to see, and it was amazing when I saw it live, but I would love to see like how he even tightened that, which I'm sure he did. So
I watched about a half hour of it. I haven't finished it yet. It's Mulaney. It's good, but it's like,
it's darker Mulaney.
It's darker.
Speaking of
Mulaney.
what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, it's his take on what just happened. Basically, which is cool, and that's good, but it's different because before it was just good comedy,
right?
And maybe that's where we're going and maybe that's because of podcasts. Is like, no, this is the person. This is it has evolved to, you're going to hear my thing, but I feel like maybe the Carlin-esque lessons. That usually are the hallmark of what my favorite kind of comedy is, or pure silly. Neither of those are there right now. I'm not always seeing them, except with Maron's. You know, what do you learn from Mulaney unless you have an opioid problem and go to rehab? Out of that, you know what I mean? Like, that's rough. It's a picture of a life, and it's a very well presented one. But it's just like, I just went through a pandemic. I need something silly.
Yeah.
I need to get a life lesson. And it's not filling that for me right now. And I think it's a result of we all had this crazy thing and we're seeing it bear out. And it's one of the reasons I can't wait to see your special, because you had a special during the pandemic, audio, right? Your record came out,
Yes. Which in hindsight probably isn't the best time to record an audio album when you can't legally fill an audience with people laughing. But hindsight is 2020. And so is COVID. COVID started in 2020. Hindsight, like COVID, is 2020.
The visuals of it are really cool. It was great though. And what I'm complimenting you in a very roundabout way, which is you are just pure funny and joy and ridiculousness, which is one of my favorite things of your material. And I think it's I don't know, man. It's just weird times right now, seeing all of this play out and watching it from sort of the outside. And I have friends who parents on the soccer team and stuff like that, and a lot of fans of comedy that I went to see Nate Bargatze. It's fantastic.
He's amazing, yeah.
But it's the evolution of this art form is so interesting to me, and I cannot. I guess I want the pandemic to be more ancient history than it is, and I can't wait till that is more in the rear view, because even if people aren't talking about the pandemic specifically in their material, it has colored all the material, I guess is my point. That's come out since,
That's interesting. No, I think, and there's two things there. It's a really interesting thing that you just said, where you don't want to leave. It's which one do you do? You don't want to leave COVID and then just be skipping around anyway, my golden retriever puppy shit the carpet, and meanwhile your blood pouring out of your face metaphorically, and it's isn't this crazy? I'm at my computer and it's sir, you're bleeding right now. Why are you not acknowledging what the fuck just happened? Were you in a fight? But I think now we're at a point where it is not, no one wants to fucking hear about it anymore. And I had tried, and I had talked about this years ago, when I tried to film the special myself, and it didn't work out because of various technical issues, camera issues. Also, now realizing how much work I put into my attention to detail in my own act for this one, an insane amount of running the goddamn jokes over and over and over again, and taking notes from this person that I probably the one person on earth I actually have entrusted notes with, in that, because it is a very deeply my material is very it's personal, not in a way of I'm telling deep, dark secrets about my life, but it's all my personality, really.
Right.
I intuitively know that if someone doesn't like a joke of mine, they don't like the joke. But in my it's very easy mentally to say, oh well, you don't like me because that joke is what I am, which again, not real life, but it's an easy thing for my mind to do. So with that first one, I'm so glad I didn't release it. And I thought about releasing it because I'm I need to put some fuel on my career, or I need to get more video out there. I don't have a lot of good video of myself at all, and or not enough that is commensurate with how long I've been doing it for and how much material I have. So I got great advice not to release it. And then this one, I look back on it and I'm the one that I just shot in late February, I was Jesus, this is I really like who this comedian is. And I was just could not be more proud and fucking lucked into an amazing the first, so we shot 2 shows, and the first night was the best set I've ever had in my life, and they filmed it. So, but to get back to finish that previous thought, God forbid, is to finish a previous thought for the first time in 34 years. A lot of the stuff from that previous, because it was from the first time I tried to film it, it was November 2021, and there was like a lull in between variants, so I was able to get it in. But a lot of it was, I mean, because you're in it, it's, oh yeah, you know, like we're just getting outside again. You know, like it's a thing where in a vacuum, it's like, why were you inside? What are you talking about? And, but it was all contextual in that way. And talking about, you know, like, my wife, like, you know, hoarding toilet paper by accident. It's stuff like that, which people now I posted that, I didn't do that clip on this special, or I didn't do that joke, but I posted it on like fucking Instagram, and it has like more views than anything I've ever put out on Instagram. So it's like, do people want to see it? Do they not want to see it? Is it the algorithm? Who the fuck knows? But I am glad that this is it's not a COVID special. Yeah. It's just it's just out, you know, it's just a special. So what is, so let's talk about that a little bit. What, yes,
you shot 2 nights.
Yes.
Yeah. And where are you now in the process? Like what's happening with it? And, you know, remind me where you shot it.
We shot it at Go Bananas in Cincinnati, Ohio. This comedy club that's been around for forever and has a name that is still trying to say, but it's funny. I'm so numb to it at this point. Where it's like there's a comedy club in Burbank called Flappers Comedy Club, and it's like, do you want? This is what you want the business to be called? You want it to? This is the motif, and it's an amazing club. It is a physically like borderline perfect like physical like comedy club. Yeah, but like
they got the 2 rooms. Yeah, it's nice.
2 great rooms, and like they have access to like the greatest comedians in the world, and it's like you're gonna make your wait staff wear like fishnet stockings and like red fedoras. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? It's crazy. It's like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I don't even know how I got. Oh, right. Go Bananas. So, shot it there, and it's like this legendary comedy club.
But you have to say, hey, do you want to Go Banana?
You want to go? Yeah, like literally. Grammatically, it's odd.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Ignore the phrase.
Where do you want to go? Go Bananas?
Yeah. Go. It's like, do you have are you nervous?
Why are you Go Bananas?
Go Bananas. So, have you gone nuts? Is this a euphemism for your impending insanity? Kinda.
And as a comic, you really don't. You want the people to laugh, but you don't want them to go bananas during your show.
No, it was like
chill out.
How'd the set go? Like 30% of the audience was wheeled out in straight jackets afterwards.
They went bananas.
They went completely bananas. It was terminally. But
okay, so you shot it at Go Bananas.
I shot it at Go Bananas. I went to Go Bananas. And it went like, because you think about just so many things can go wrong when you're shooting something. And also something of this, where this one I did with a company called 800 Pound Gorilla, who
they're doing a lot of cool stuff lately. I've noticed.
They've been, to your point, like, they've released a lot of really cool specials recently where they, Nate Bargatze, they did one with him. He's been producing some for them. And then like Kyle Kinane just did his with them, them, and Kelsey Cook. So there's like a lot of great comics. And I would not, so the good thing about having shot that one that did not work, the one that I shot in 2021, is that there was something there where my friend Cy, who directed it, was able to be like, oh, okay, if with a little bit of polish, this can be a great thing. And he got me in touch with 800 Pound, and they were amazing because like they've like you said, they've been doing a ton of these. They you know, like they know what they're doing. And we like farmed out the crew to this company called 4x3 Comedy, which is located in Cincinnati, and they've been doing a ton. So like it was a cool combination of like production companies, but then also I was ready. Like I ran the shit out of this, like in Boston, Asheville, like Raleigh, Burlington, Vermont, Philly, New York, like just all these goddamn places. And it was great. Minneapolis, like I flew to Minneapolis for a night in like fucking winter and then came back, you know, like it was, I really, really put in the work that it needed. And I wasn't able to do that with the previous one because it was like, oh, I don't want to get COVID, because that was the biggest thing. It was, I don't want to get COVID before it happens. So it's like, I'm shot. I got all my shots, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what do you do? Like, what do you really do? Like, you can't stop it if you're doing anything. So that was the issue with the previous one, was I was so nervous about getting COVID at that time. Again, very different times, 2021 versus 2023. But I didn't want to get it. And then, because also it was all my money, you know, but even then I actually felt more pressure with this one because of course I would much rather, exactly. I would rather inconvenience or fuck myself than someone else. So and everything. And I'm like, oh, are people going to come? Because I've never performed in Ohio before. It's not one of my cities, or like let alone city, a state. So that was a risk. And it was a big risk.
What made you pick it then?
So my friend Cy who was directing it and kind of like quarterbacked this thing, is located there. And at the time he was dealing with like some health stuff, so he couldn't really like travel. So, and he's an amazing comedian who's now getting back into it and is like talking about people who like experience, like he took off for like 5 years, because he was dealing with all this shit. And now he's back and it's like, oh my God, this guy's out with a vengeance, you know, like he's, Cy Almond's in his name, like he'll be doing a special at some point soon and it'll be amazing. But he was based there, and also they would headline me for like a whole weekend. So like we taped 2 shows, but I did 6 the whole week. And like I have people who enjoy my stuff, but I'm not a massive, it's not like, oh, Blake Wexler's here and then the whole town's going to come out, you know? So, but yeah, we ended up we limited seating, but like we got like 150 per show, like, cause we limited seating because of the cameras took up so much space. So, for all intents and purposes, for our purposes, it was sold out. And, it went great. Awesome. Like the first crowd was like, so good. Like it was crazy. They were amazing. And that let me for the next night. So it's like, all right, we have it. We have the special.
Now you can play. Yeah.
And then, I did. And like, there's some goofy shit that like went in there of like, it's like really silly. Like, it's just the second night was so silly. And a lot of the silliness is like, we can't do anything with this. But, I line like, oh, I suck off the mic stand, you know, like, which is like not a thing that you can put. It was just like made no sense. So just in one of these riff fucking modes. But yeah, it went great and they shot it really well. And, I'm proud of the material in it. Like, this is very inside baseball, but when I was running it at these various clubs and stuff, like it was doing well, obviously. If it wasn't doing well, I'd be like, oh, well, fuck, we can't record this. But it was timing out to like 42 minutes. And the cut is about 53 minutes. So there's almost 11 extra minutes of just laughs in it, which is crazy. So, spread across obviously like an hour, but I love it. Like I really love it and I'm psyched about it. And
just loop people laughing for the last 7 minutes and round out to an hour. Just no jokes.
Like filmed in a hospital.
Just like, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Stop laughing at me. Like it just like goes the opposite. Like leave me alone. I'm in my car.
You can still hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's, but yeah, no, it's funny, like to glowing. It's not quote unquote cool to talk about, like to be glowing about something and like about how well something went. But there is, you put that up against the hundreds and hundreds of times that something like this has gone so poorly for whatever fucking reason. And I'm really, really psyched about it. So, to answer your question, where are we in the process? We're currently trying to acquire the rights to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack to have that in the back. No, and it's been a tedious negotiation with I almost said Peter King, who is the Monday Morning Quarterback writer.
Yeah,
who JJ Parkinson, whoever. And so I saw the second cut, and now we're trying to figure out how to start it, where there's, I won't say like what our decision is, because I honestly don't know yet, but there's, the thinking is, so like there's a ton of applause at the beginning where the crowd was like very hot, very well warmed up, and they were psyched to be a part of a comedy special, which is amazing. And then I get into the first joke at like 30 seconds, and there's some exposition to the first joke, a lot of setup. And then when it really gets funny, we're like a minute and a half in. So there's, when you're a little boy and you're thinking about your comedy special, you want all the applause, you want all that. Like you want it to feel special and cool. But then there's also a line of thought of, this is people's attention spans are short as ever. And I want the barrier of entry to the special to be minimal, because hopefully the people watching it have never fucking seen me before. So it's like, is there a way to start it sooner? And then they're like, oh, cool, Blake's funny, let's see the rest of it. And then they get to see like more silly shit and like more applause and then like later. So it's an interesting...
Yeah, like where are they going to see it, right? So like if you think about it, like if I've never heard of you, and you show up on the Netflix queue,
right,
it's going to loop a clip. Now that clip can be in the middle of the special.
Yes, yeah, right? For sure.
So when I press play, how much leeway do I give you before I turn it off?
Exactly.
Is the thing you're trying to figure out. I was like, I like that joke. Let's watch it. And if in the first 3 minutes I'm not in, right? Like, I guess is where you're going. Like,
yes. And
because I remember comedy specials would have like a big, like almost like a story before the show, where a
skit. Yeah, like a sketch.
Or like a skit. Yeah.
So we're not doing that. Yeah. For sure, not doing a skit. Yeah.
Walking down the street I think Ray Romano did one where he walked in between clubs in New York, but that's Ray Romano. Like,
exactly.
So yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting.
And I love that. Like, continue. I love the Ray, like I know the Ray Romano, especially you're talking, like I love that. I even love like some weird sketches, like before, like everyone's like, I do love that, but it is
Dangerfield used to have that all the time. Like he'd be in an apartment with somebody, and like I can remember like in a hot tub with a person in like a monkey costume and like all this like, I got to get out of here and go do my set, like kind of shit. It's just like a fake setup to going in to do comedy.
And it's also, you can overthink this to death, which I am, where it's like, it does work where you said it's Ray Romano, where it's like, I want to see whatever Ray Romano is doing. Like it's like, I just want to see it. Oh, it's a sketch? Great. I can't wait to see the stand-up afterwards. I also am enjoying this, where I think in a vacuum, when you're turning on a stand-up special, you want to see stand-up, theoretically. And then to put a sketch in front of it is, even if it's great and very, very funny, it's, this is a different product than the one I went shopping for. Right. And I think what I'm trying to do with this, or I mean, it's probably clear where I'm leaning with this at this point, but like, I would like a way to let's cut out any, like, I don't think I'm basically trying to get to buy myself time, like where it's like, all right, if you enjoy, let's get to the first laugh and then you're either in or you're out. But it's like, I want to get them there, if that makes sense. So it's like, you'll get it within the first 45 seconds of watching it. And then it's like, I want people to be like, all right, I'm in. And then they get to see the longer, goofier shit. And not that the first joke's not goofy, like it's still me, but it's an interesting, it's something I haven't really thought of. And then in my mind, if I do end up doing that then hopefully will elevate my status as a comic to the point where the next one we can do something weird where the thing that I want to do more in the entire, I'll just say if someone takes it, fuck, like who gives a shit. But my opening for a stand-up session, my dream opening, theater, gorgeous theater, shot from like the second level on the stage. Lights are perfect, background's perfect. And then it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Blake Wexler. The lights come up, crowd's going nuts. And then my body falls from the roof and crashes through, like my limp body, like through a table or through the stool. And then the camera's like back, like it'll obviously be a dummy, like in a suit or whatever. And then I like brush the wood off of me. And then I just start the special as if it like never happened. It's like a thing that I would want to do so badly.
That's awesome.
Just a body dropping like 100 feet, like through a stool is, and it's very funny. So like, that's why I'm leaning towards, let's do this quickly. So then for the next one, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh God, I want to see that so bad. Well, you can't do it at Go Bananas. I'm imagining they don't have the height on the stage to pull that off.
No. And that was an oversight on my part.
It's better in a theater.
It's unfortunate. It's what makes it a great room for stand-up is like low ceilings, but it does not make it for a great room for a body falling from the top of the ceiling. It's like, well, he'd clearly live. It's not, it's like an 11-foot drop.
Not high enough. What are you doing?
Yeah. If we could have it come through the roof, that could be good, I guess. But then where's the camera? Yeah. It's a whole.
So when's it coming out?
I believe mid to late summer, probably, because I did do it with a company that puts out specials like Kyle Kinane's, like like these amazing comics. So they do a bunch. So there's like a queue basically, but that's what I think. Could be sooner, could be a little bit later. Like we'll see, but that's.
Are you doing a album accompaniment?
Mm-hmm.
The audio?
Yeah. So they'll release, and that's my understanding, not to get, again, too inside baseball, but I think that's where most of the money comes for, because like YouTube streams compared to like XM Sirius or wherever it ends up playing, and also like, that's also how they make their money back, the company, for like, fronting all the money for this thing. That's up to me. Right now, no, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't. This is so I have a habit, or there's been a pattern of when I release albums where I always am a technology behind when I do it. So my first one that I released in like 2016, I did CDs for it.
Oh, okay.
I wish. At least an 8-track is like weird, and people would be like, well, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's an object, Go
to Urban Outfitters, buy a player, and then you can listen to my
exactly.
record. Yeah.
And it is more, it's expensive, where you get 10% off an 8-track player at Urban only at participating Urban Outfitters. But I did CDs, and I have 250 CDs in my basement. And then I did like download cards afterwards. And it's like, well, people are just going to download this directly off Spotify or Apple. Right. So, but I think vinyl is a cool thing where it's, even if you don't have a vinyl, a record player, a vinyl, even if you don't have a record player, you still have the artwork. It's almost like a mini poster kind of, like if you have the artwork on it.
I think vinyl's an interesting one because it's resurging so strongly again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to the
it really
point
is.
Where there, like you could have, like the reason it went away the first time is because technology is like, oh, this is so much easier. I don't have to lift the needle. People want to lift the needle. People want to look at the record. Like,
yeah.
And at this point, knowing that there's other alternatives for vinyl to still be big is like, well, this isn't going anywhere because we like it. That's the reason.
That's a good point.
Because
it's not a novelty. Yeah.
Like people that like vinyl. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't, degrade necessarily like tape did. The artwork, you have such a palette for the artwork because it's so big. You can do all kinds of cool shit with the actual vinyl itself and the color of it and all that, and have special editions. Like,
yeah,
it's really awesome. It's expensive as shit. But I think as a merch item, as an artist for bands and for comics, if you show up and there's a T-shirt or a vinyl or both, like, I don't know if you've bought a record lately, they're like at least $25.
Oh, wow.
Like, and that's cheap, like for a new vinyl, like a pressing of like Dark Side of the Moon is like $25, and it's just like, yeah, I could listen to it for free on Spotify, or I could buy this record. And when you show up to venues and the bands have special pressings of their vinyl records now, that's awesome. Like it's badass. So if I had to vote, I would say get vinyl, and get vinyl of your other records too.
Yeah.
If you can pull it off. But like growing up as a kid, when you're talking about your dream special, like that's how I heard comedy. Vinyl.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. No, I'll definitely think about that for sure.
The sound of the needle hitting the record, and then, just that noise of it, and then like, ladies and gentlemen, Blake Wexler, and
right.
It's just in that headphone vinyl. That's how it's almost supposed to be. Comedy's perfect for it, So yeah, I would love that, especially because this is your first special, like that.
Yeah.
And I wonder so that's awesome. Can't wait. Please make vinyl.
Thank you.
I'll take one.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you for the advice. I took that in.
But so now the material, you're going to have to wait 6 months. Are you still using that material until it comes out? Or are you starting to build again?
Both. So like I am still using it, and it's interesting. Like I've been really, really excited to start building doing new shit, because I was doing the same stuff where, it was almost to the point of like, you're talking, but you're thinking about, like, you can think about something else. Like you're almost on autopilot, at times. But there were things that methods where that would prevent me from doing that I would do, like to be like present while you're doing stand up. So, excuse me. But yeah, I'm starting to write new shit, and since that, so like it is my first special, so it is. Like some of the stuff that I did on it has been released before, but I would say like 40% of it no one's ever seen it anywhere. Yeah. So, then I'm now like since this is coming, like I got married while getting ready for this, and now I'm, moving towards more grown up shit in my life, but also still have realized I can now take that work ethic that I put into tightening the existing shit that I had on it and the new shit that I was writing at the time, and now apply that to the next one. So I've already seen a level of discipline with writing new shit that I did not have before, where before it was like, well, this is getting laughs. So that's good
where
enough.
I was getting to, is like, you did that, and now you're like, oh, I need to build my material different. And
yes,
I'm going to start to build my material for the next one where I fall out of the ceiling onto the chair.
It's all building to a free fall from 100 feet up in the air. So that's the carrot at the end of the stick.
Will the dummy look obviously like a dummy, or do you want realistic effect? Like, it's funny both ways.
It is funny both ways.
It's like obviously a dummy, and then you're like brush, or if it looks realistic where people could be like, shoot both,
I want it,
and we'll see.
Well, I can't make the decision now because you bring up two great points, and that will be the hardest decision of my life. Is like, do we want it to be a like to see like hay coming out of the thing, like straw coming out of the W, or do we want it to like see my eyelashes on this thing? And I don't have an answer yet. I know that's bad. I'm being a bad guest and not giving you an answer right there. But yeah, I will. You'll be the first person I tell. But yeah, it's been cool. It's building the material has been fun. And more challenging where I'm like, oh, fuck, I would be done with this before when I was worse. And now that I'm better, I can't be done with this. But yeah, it's weird where no one's like, oh, we've seen this old material before. But I am, you want to keep building and you want benchmarks and you want to see like surpass goals. So I've been doing more like crowd work before. The other night, like I did a 15-minute set and I didn't even start a joke until minute 14, and then I just didn't have time to finish. Like it was like that was fun. So and it's exciting to do that because you don't know what's going to happen. But that's the thing too, where I'm like, oh, you do need to start building a new thing, and it's fun and exciting. So yeah,
can you go to at this point now? Can you go to say like Helium and do an hour whenever you want in a way, like so that you can build that, like if you can, because if you could riff for 20 minutes and then test material for 40 once a week, this would go much faster, right? Or do you have to do that on the road and touring still?
It's a great question. I could not do it at Helium. I could maybe do that once every like 6-7 months, but I think when and this might change, but like when I perform there, I want it to be, because people can see me in Philly so much where like when I'm here, it's tough to, I want people to like be like, oh, boom, like, oh, wow, Blake, like fucking just like, blew us away with stuff that we haven't seen before, because there's just so many opportunities for people to see me around here that it would be tough for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is it would be tough for me to sell that out or get a meaningful amount of people there like that often because, and also they have like a lot of massive acts coming in, but I could do something like that at like an alternative venue. So, and I might want to do that anyway.
Soul Joe's place before?
I have not done that. I think, I mean, I've never met him also, but it seems like you either do Soul Joel, for some people, either do Soul Joel's, Helium, or Punchline, where, but yeah, no, I would, even as like an opener, like I'd be down to do that. But yeah, he came around while I was living in LA, or he started doing it around Philly. So I never really got a chance to meet him. I've heard like nothing but great things, but yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said for local residency in that regard for building that would make it go so much faster.
Yeah.
You really can't really think about the fact that, and I would say, to you, like, yes, there's lots of opportunities to see you in Philly, but again, people don't go to comedy shows that much. So, if you have return people, if you get to the point where people are like, oh my God, I just saw him last week, these are comedy regulars. That's not the norm, right? So if you did a spot every week, it's going to be 75, 80% new people every time for the most part, and the repeat people don't mind seeing you again. That's the thing. They are comedy
They know what
people,
they're signing up for. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he changed this tag. Oh, he did this a little different. Like that. That's the core people that you want, but also like it's no reason not to find a spot you can build your next hour like that. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't worry that you're overexposed in Philly because that's in your own mind. You know what
that's
I mean?
A good point.
Like,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And I need you to do that theater opening.
I got to do it.
Like
we got to get there fast. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so exciting. Well, congratulations, dude. I'm really excited
Thank
to see
you.
It.
Thanks, Matt.
If you're willing to send early cuts, I'd love to see.
Of course.
But I get it. It's a arduous process, and if you're waiting a couple months. But it's so dope. I'm so glad you pulled it off.
Oh, thank you.
And, learned a lot from the self-funded one.
Yeah, I can't wait to show it to you. The final one. Yeah.
That's cool, man. What else? Anything else going on? Anything else you want to plug?
I don't have a podcast anymore. It's like, what do I even plug? I'm on I'm doing shit on social media. Like a lot of the stuff that I would do on the podcast, it would be like a thought. It's like, oh, maybe I'll just like record. This is not brain surgery, but like, oh, I'll just record this into my Instagram account or like, instead. And that's been fun to do. So yeah, just at Blake Wexler. And yeah, I think that's, and whenever I do shows and stuff, I post it on there anyway. So yeah. At Blake Wexler.
Yeah. It seems like, TikTok is a pretty good medium for comedy at this point. Really, really an interesting venue kind of for, if you don't even have to do a podcast to do that, like clips of the podcast you can do obviously, but like instead of is an interesting thing instead of whenever you feel like it. Although it sounds like if you study that algorithm, that's like more work than a podcast because it's to be meaningful. It's probably like 6 to 8 posts a day to really, that's a lot of work. That's a lot.
It's a job.
It's daily, but it's a job, but it's also like, you got to be engaging,
captivating
for the most part to make a difference. So that's almost harder to do. Once you have the special, you can clip it up into pieces and put it on a schedule and put it out there.
Right.
Like the hey, I'm not going to have any other way to reach people other than my podcast or other than my TikTok. You better be all in. Like now you're talking into your phone all day, every day.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's like the anti podcast in a way, but like it is meaningful and people find people from that, and that is where people are looking and that is where their attention is. And when I was saying that there's soccer parents and stuff that I talk to, that's how they find comics. Like they're going from TikTok to levity.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It's like okay,
that's how it is now. Yeah.
That's the move. Okay. So it's going to be an ever evolving thing, but I'm excited for you, man. I'm really psyched for your special to come out, and
thank you
so much for doing this. And
this was a blast. It was the best, and congrats on your 100th episode. Like that's a big deal, and you should be proud of yourself. It's great.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's pretty cool. I think you are the top repeat guest as well, which is like, nobody can ever take that away from you, Blake. Nobody can ever take that away from you, Blake.
I won't let them.
No one will ever take that away. And if somebody gets close, I'll have you on again, so you can always stay one ahead.
Thank you, and I am keeping tabs. So yeah. If you don't catch it, I will.
But oh man, it's so good to see you as always.
You too.
Are you getting out here at any time out west? Any plans?
I will by the fall at the latest, and then we're trying to find a way to get back there. Like honestly, hopefully I can come out whenever the special releases and like do some shows and like around that. So so hopefully this summer, if not early fall.
Yeah, well, keep me posted.
I'll let you know.
And if you're gonna be out here, I'd love to see you and go to a show or whatever the case may be. But
obviously, for sure, of course. Man. This was so much fun, Matt. Thank you so much for having me, and congrats again. This was a blast.
Yeah, man, love it. Thank you, Blake. Be well.
Absolutely, you too. Bye.
Said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. the sake